Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 11 of Crossbar podcast. This is Yaz.
This is Brian.
It's AR7. Perhaps the biggest news in the football world right now is Lionel Messi has asked to leave Barcelona. Messi is asking Barca to accept a clause in his contract that would allow him to move on a free this summer. Reportedly, Messi has chosen Man City as his next club. What are you guys' thoughts on this?
Oh, yes.
Well, we hear this a lot, like every day, but this time it seems to be a little more serious. He didn't attend the testing, the COVID testing either, so that's a big sign.
Yeah, he's gonna miss his first game because of it.
I mean, personally, I would love him to leave, not because I hate Barca, but because like it's just gonna be interesting. I'm seeing Messi in a different shirt. But is it gonna happen? I don't think so.
Did you say he's gonna leave, Brian? Miss his first game?
Yeah, because I think he missed his COVID testing, so he's not eligible to play his first game.
Oh, shit. So he's really about this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's one game. It's not gonna kill Barca, but I think it's just showing that I personally I don't think he wants to leave. I think he just doesn't want the president. But if the president stays, then he will leave. It's kind of either or, right?
Is the president leaving? Is that enough for him to stay? Like, even if the president leaves, will he just be like, "Oh, president's gone, I'm staying now"? Like, I feel like there's more than just the president leaving. Like, the players that they still have, and are trying to get rid of.
Yeah.
I mean, when I talked to Amir, a hardcore Barca fan, he said the main problem is the president, and the big problem right now is Messi versus the president. So if he leaves, maybe it's a motivation for him to stay.
By the way, did you dye your hair?
No.
Oh,
Yeah, your hair looks a little different. I
Yeah,
get top of my
tell the viewers about your hair. It looks a little. It's looking crispy, dude. Looking good.
If Messi was to go to Man City, would they be categorized as favorites? What do you say? To win the Premier League?
Good question.
And also taking into account the players they would have to give up in order to bring him. So there was talk about, Bernardo Silva, and someone else. It was like 100 million plus Bernardo Silva.
Plus Gabriel Jesus.
Oh yeah, plus Gabriel Jesus. So let's say you were to take that deal into account. How strong would you stack Man City compared to Liverpool?
Good point. I mean, Ferran Torres would kind of fill in for Bernardo. Gabriel Jesus, that would suck to lose him because I rate him highly. Like he brings so much energy to that team. Sometimes Aguero can't provide that energy. Would they be favorites to win the Prem?
With Messi?
With Messi? I mean, they actually, it looks like they're ready to sign Koulibaly. Like, they're in talks to sign Koulibaly. So, Nathan Ake, Koulibaly in the back, Laporte in the back. Would they be favorites? Fuck it. I'll say yeah. They'll be favorites, man. Yes. I'll say yes.
I feel like if they sign Messi, I don't know if they'll be able to find Koulibaly.
True.
I mean, I'm not sure. They could probably. I'm not sure if they can.
Because that would be two very major signings in one COVID window, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. But it's City, and they'll pull it off.
Yeah. Yes.
I'd say yes, unfortunately.
Yaz is literally Man U versus the world.
Well, I remember what I was actually fully gonna say though. My point was that I think Messi's release clause already is invalid. It already passed. So as a result, he can't actually just leave. They have to pay I think we were talking about it yesterday. They have to pay 700 million or something crazy like that in order to actually have him leave. Otherwise, he'll probably just be like kind of like Bale, where he just won't be used if he really doesn't want to play.
Oh, actually, the only way that he can get out of his contract, or I was reading about this today, is that Barca would be willing to terminate his contract if he agrees to sit out all of next season. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way that they would terminate.
Well, he might do it. Fuck it, like he's like
Will he do it? He's 33. He probably has what 2 to 3 years, 4 years maybe. I don't know. Let's just say 3. 3 years left to win more UCLs, to win more Ballon d'Ors. I don't think he'll sit out. I don't think he'll do that.
So, do you mean sit out? And like, let's say he was going to go to City, he would have to not play at City, only train with City.
I just think he would sit out. I think he would be a free agent the whole season. That's the only way.
oh, in that case, I don't think he's gonna do it.
No,
I don't think he would do it.
you can't. It's so hard to go a whole season without playing, training. I think Suarez did it for a bit.
Now, I just want to clarify that was a report I read. You don't know how much truth there is to it, but it's interesting if that was the case. I don't think Messi would do it.
Yeah.
This is a loaded episode, so let's get onto it because there's a lot more to talk about. Let's move on to transfer news. Chelsea have completed 3 defensive signings in the span of 3 days. Chelsea confirmed the signing of left back Ben Chilwell from Leicester City. They signed Malang Sarr on a free from Nice, and they also signed Thiago Silva on a free from PSG.
It's literally Chelsea against the world with money.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Did Hazard's transfer can they really buy a whole new 11 with just the transfer of one player? Like, who else did they sell where they have all this money stacked up? Because Hazard was only like 100 and like something mil. Like, they can't buy all these players from just Hazard's.
What about William? Was he a free agent?
He's only on wages, but they didn't sell him.
No, they got him on a free. Like, there has to be more players that they got rid of because I can't see them buying all these players from just one sale, one major sale.
Don't they have too many players now since they're not offered?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
No. They are planning to like Marcos Alonso, Kepa, Zappacosta, like all these like old aging players. They're trying to get rid of, but just as it's hard to bring in players, it's also hard to get rid of players because no team is really like buying right now. So it's hard to like get rid of these players. Like it's tough for the management. But yeah, they went out. Frank Lampard went out and got what he needed. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to add about those signings?
I think there'll be some good signings. I think Thiago Silva still looks fit even at his age, so I think that was a good signing. Chilwell, I'm not too familiar with him. I know he didn't have the best half season this past winter on, but I heard he's a good player. I think he's still overpriced.
I think he's overpriced.
I think that's just the premium you pay for the English players. And the Nice player, I'm not really too familiar with him. So
in the immediate, I think that Thiago Silva is probably the best out of those 3, just because he's most experienced and he had a tremendous Champions League final. In the long term, it could probably be Malang Sarr because I don't really know too much about him, but he's like a bright French prospect. And then Chilwell is just a good piece to plug in, someone who's already established Premier League talent. So I think they made 3 pretty good signings. Juventus confirmed Weston McKennie will arrive to Turin to complete a loan move from Schalke. That caught me off guard.
Right, or just
that's all I saw on the report. I would have to look up a little bit more, but Andrea Pirlo made his first sign. Is that his first signing? I think so, right?
Yeah, it was like a loan signing, but they have an option to buy. I heard reports that this option to buy might be executed, or has to be executed if he plays like 60% of his games or something.
Oh yeah, I saw that too, actually. Yeah. Really not expecting Weston McKennie, a kid from Texas, to be Andrea Pirlo's
playing with Ronaldo.
With Ronaldo, yeah, and Dybala. I mean, he did pretty well in Schalke, but Schalke also kind of underperformed this season. They weren't, one of the bigger sides in Germany, but still, that's huge for the U.S. men's national team. Another bright prospect playing in a top league, getting huge experience. So in that sense, I think it's awesome for him. But like, just move doesn't really make sense to me. The midfield is packed already, and then you just add this kid who's, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be a little bit weird for him, but he could prove me wrong because I said the same thing about Pulisic, and Pulisic came out of nowhere and just shut everyone up. So I hope it's the same case.
I think Pirlo just wants to adopt a philosophy, and where if you don't really work for his philosophy, he's probably gonna offload. And I think McKinney, McKinney or McKinney, right?
McKennie.
Oh, McKinney.
Yeah, McKennie. Weston McKennie. Yeah, he's from Texas.
McKinney. I feel like he probably just fits that philosophy where he's like very. He's actually pretty. I was watching some like highlights of him. He's very quick. So he can get around that midfield, and he seems like a box to box player. I think that might just be like the type of player Pirlo wants, and probably really doesn't entirely have, I guess.
Any closing thoughts?
Good move for him.
This is a good one. This is going for you. Yes, here we go. I think you know where this is going. Donny van de Beek is set to leave Ajax to sign for Man United on a 5-year contract. The transfer could reach up to 45 million euros, including bonuses.
He's 23. 5 years, he's going to be 28. Perfect age. He's really good. At first, I thought he was going to join either Real Madrid or Chelsea, because I heard a lot of rumors about that. I didn't expect him to come to Man U, but it's going to be solid midfield next year for Man U, definitely. We have good backups, too. We have Matic, we have McTominay. And we have a youngster, Garner. He's also really good. So for the position, I think we're pretty good. We need more signings, though, for center back and forward, I guess. But I don't know if it's going to happen.
I feel like you need a really good center defensive mid, because those are all like center mid players. I mean, Pogba and outside of Bruno Fernandes, I feel like most of your players are center mid. And maybe outside of Matic.
Well, depending on the formation he's going to use,
Yeah, I mean that's probably the big thing.
Yeah. But great move.
I know he was right after Ajax made that run in the Champions League. I think it was 2 seasons ago. He was heavily linked to Real Madrid, but it never went through. Just want to throw this. You kind of look like him.
Your hair color is the same.
Hair color is the same. But anyways, I think so what Man U lacked before they signed Bruno Fernandes was creativity. They got Fernandes, their creativity went up. I only think their creativity is only going to go even more up. Kind of like, it's just going to go way more up.
Thing is, Fernandes is really creative in like short passes. Pogba is really creative for long passes.
Correct.
And the big, I haven't seen that much of him playing, but he is.
He's kind of like similar to Dusan Tadic, also in Ajax, where he kind of like holds up the play. Either if it's a long ball from Pogba coming into him or a short ball coming in from Bruno, he'll hold up the play and then distribute wide to Daniel James or Rashford or whoever's sitting behind him. Or he could play a false 9. Like, there's so many things you could do with this kid, and he can score. Like, that's what Man U lacks. Just like a deadly scorer. So yeah, I mean, he speaks the language. He'll be fine. He'll adapt quick. I like that signing.
Yeah. I'm kind of sad because I actually kind of wanted it.
I thought he would have been a brilliant signing for Real.
Yeah, I think it's more just the timing, but
yeah, true. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Alexander Kolarov. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. He used to be on Man City. He'll join Inter Milan. That is actually confirmed.
it's funny because they have Kolarov and Ashley Young. Both of them are pretty old.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it's interesting.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of the signings that Inter have been making lately, and like they're just really like they're not signing any youth. The only youth they've signed is Hakimi. Everyone else has been like 30 plus or like 27, 28. Like Ericsson is probably one of their better signings, but everyone else they've signed, like Alexis Sanchez, Young, Kolarov, Lukaku is like aging a little bit. I don't know. I don't like where this Inter team is going because they do have good players in Lautaro, but they're surrounding him with like old heads.
I think that's what you have to. Again, maybe not have to do, but I think that's what their game plan is. Even though they're older players, I guess they were previously named players, like they were popular players. So as a result, it's gonna now like the chances of you going like even a younger player, it's more attractive to go to a current Inter than like a 2 year ago Inter.
Exactly.
Does that make sense? But now it's a little more familiar names, and I feel like as a young player, it's more of an attractive, I guess, journey to go there.
Yeah, I see where you're going with that. That's fair. Yeah, let's move on. Brian, this one's for you. I don't even know why I threw this in here, but we'll just get into it. Ener Valencia will join Fenerbahce.
Oh, is that one of the Turkey clubs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I actually he had a lot going on. I actually feel really bad.
Like, could you
his
explain?
his sister got kidnapped, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy actually. His sister got like kidnapped, and they recently were able to rescue her. So I do hope his sister's all right. But that was pretty crazy. But yeah, I did hear the signing. I mean, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, it does well.
How old is he? Is he 30 plus or is he under 30? Is he the older Valencia or is he the younger Valencia?
No. He's the younger one.
He's the younger one?
Yeah, he's the younger one. No, I don't think he's them. I feel like he's probably like 26, 28. I don't think he's like 31 or anything.
Oh, okay. It's funny because what I remember him the most from is I think it was one game. I'm not sure if it was international game or domestic game. He was like behind on child support payments. So after the 90 minutes, like whoever's in charge of like conducting child support payments was like chasing after him on the field, like, and he was running away because he was like very, very behind on child support. Yeah, it was so funny. It was like they actually caught it on camera. He was like quickly walking away, and some guy in like a black suit was like walking after him, trying to get him to pay his child support. That was a stupid little.
Child support is like a fraction of what you make. It's like based on your income, so it must be like a pretty large amount of child
Yeah,
support.
I know.
The first time I saw him doing really well was in the World Cup. I think was it the World Cup?
Yeah, he had like it wasn't the last World Cup. It was the World Cup before.
Yeah, before. Yeah, he scored like two goals against England. I think it was. I don't know.
I'm not sure if it was England. I forgot who it was. I think it was like Switzerland, but he was like one of the really young prospects that came out of the World Cup, and that's how he got brought to England. And I think he played for like either Everton or like.
No, it was a purple and light blue team, so it was either Villa or West Ham, or Burnley.
No,
it was one of
he
the
played for West Ham.
I think
yeah, okay, it was West Ham. Yeah, I just remember seeing him in like the burgundy and light blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is another random one. Rodrigo Moreno is heading to Leeds United. La Liga guy heading to a newly promoted Premier League side.
I mean, I know Soldado. He did the same thing, but he didn't do very well. So we're hoping, this plays out a little better for Leeds. But I think it's pretty exciting.
It is actually really exciting because actually he's one of the brighter players in La Liga, like one of their top players, and the Prem just snatched him up and brought him to, one of their lower teams. But that's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's exciting to see him play. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Alan, the midfielder for Napoli. He is heading to Everton. It will be 25 million euros plus 3 million in add-ons.
Yeah, Alan and James Rodriguez. Ooh, that could be pretty exciting.
And I think they're after a one more midfielder too. So Ancelotti just doesn't like the midfield creativity he has there. He's like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna go and get some.
But he knows both the players, so I think that's partially why.
Mhm. It's gonna be fun to watch. What do we have here? What do we have here? Sandro Tonali has agreed to join AC Milan. He was previously linked with Inter, but it seems like Milan has won the race for a signature.
Who is he?
Sandro Tonali, he's one of like the brighter prospects in Italy. He's like a center mid, and he's been compared as like the next Pirlo. I don't know if it's because he also has long hair, but or he has the same style of play, but there's been a lot of talk about this Italian guy, and you don't really hear a lot of. There's not really that many like Italian players with like a big like prospects. You know what I'm saying? Other than maybe like Zaniolo on Roma, like that kid had some buzz like a year ago, but kind of died down a bit. This kid has had some buzz too, and yeah, he made it to Milan.
Who's on?
Was linked to Inter.
He was linked to Inter, and it seemed like it was gonna go through. Like they were really almost there. What do we have here? Sevilla have reached an agreement to sign Ivan Rakitic from Barcelona.
Oh, I
think
saw
that-
that today.
Reported today, yeah. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Amir was definitely very happy. We talked to Amir about this, Barca
Mhm.
fan. And he was pretty psyched. I can actually read the exact quote.
He moved from Sevilla.
Yeah, he did come from Sevilla.
Yeah.
He moved from Sevilla. He
I
said,
honestly wanted him to go to Serie A for some reason, but that's gonna be interesting seeing him in Sevilla.
Wait, where in Serie A would you
Inter Milan.
have one? Inter Milan.
Yeah.
Another aging signing.
Yeah, I know. I mean, he is also like they have Christian Eriksen, so that doesn't make
Yeah, true. That I'd take actually Ericsson over him.
I don't think Conte fancies Ericsson though.
what?
Yeah,
I don't think he really likes Ericsson. It seems.
He doesn't start. Like he's usually a super sub for some.
Yeah, exactly. I just don't think he fits his type of play, like his style of play for some reason. I don't know.
and they've also been linked with Ndombele and Dembele, the Tanguy Ndombele, the Tottenham player. They also they're looking to get him, but that's just like an alternative.
Yeah. Oh, Amir said, "You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself turn into a villain." About Rakitic.
Oh, nice quote. Isn't that Grown Ups? What movie is that?
Not-
Right, I'll lob this one over back to me. Denny Ceballos is coming back to Arsenal on loan. It's confirmed. Mikel Arteta has convinced them to stay for one more season. There was some reports that he was going to go to Betis because he was caught on vacation wearing a Betis jersey, but there was really nothing to it. He was just wearing a jersey, and then there was all this speculation. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I actually wanted him to stay. And when I heard that Real brought him back and they weren't sure if they wanted to let him go, I was kind of sad because I wanted him to stay because he was at the back end of last season. He really, you could arguably say he was our best player. Like he was really good. And then another full season, like I think he could do. Of course, I want him to stay healthy because last season he couldn't stay healthy in the beginning. But if he can stay healthy, a good player, really good player. Yeah, Brian, how do you feel about Spy Steven?
I think he should go to Arsenal.
Yes,
I honestly not because like I like him as a player. It's just that I don't think he's gonna get playing time, and I feel like he would be better off at Arsenal and getting more experience because he's still really young, you know. So he still has a lot to learn. And, you know, I think Arsenal could be a really good move.
Absolutely.
There was 3 other teams that were that had contacted him to join them, and they're unnamed, but he turned down 3 teams to stay with Arsenal. And also, I follow him on Instagram, and during the Community Shield, he was actually on his iPad in Spain, following along and like supporting his former players.
Oh, he didn't play on it.
No, because he still belongs to Real. He's still like once last season ended, he was a Real Madrid player. So they had to like start the negotiations once again to bring him back. So at that point, he wasn't an Arsenal player.
Oh, so he didn't win the title?
Technically, no. He wasn't part of the squad. He didn't walk across the stage and get a medal. So no.
Damn, that kind of sucked.
But he was excited. Like he was excited. Like he was cheering them on and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm excited I'm back. Okay, so those were all transfer news. We'll move on to transfer rumors. We covered this one a little bit. James Rodriguez is in talks with Everton on a permanent move from Real Madrid that would reunite him with Carlo Ancelotti. James to the Prem. I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm a little nervous because it is one of the toughest leagues in the world, very fast paced, and is super physical. And one of the reasons why he couldn't really get minutes at Real was because he had injury problems. So it could escalate things and make it a little bit worse for him if he continuously stays injured. But if he can maintain his health, he could show his worth in one of the biggest stages. So it's exciting, but also nerve wracking.
I think
I
it's gonna be.
oh sorry, yes.
Yeah, I think Everton's gonna be in really good shape next year. I think Ancelotti has had enough time to know what's going on and like make the team better. And I think Thomas is gonna have a good year next year if he joins. Go off.
Agree. I think once he gets if you feel like I said, if he feels everything is going well, I feel like James can really do really well. He's just that type of player. He just needs confidence. So
That's true, yeah.
gets the confidence, I'll be good.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Just like a little side question for you guys. Not to take up much time, but do you guys think Everton will finish top 6?
Yeah,
Yes.
because Spurs, I don't know what's up with them. So there's a spot there.
I don't think so.
Other
No.
teams are pretty.
What about Wolves? What about Wolves, Leicester? What about them? You think they can top Everton, or Everton is ahead of them?
Honestly, I don't think so. Wolves maybe, but not Leicester.
I think both of them will have better seasons than Everton. To be honest.
Yeah.
Everton looks a little shaky to me, especially in the back.
I'm sure.
But no, until like I see something proven in Everton where like I actually see everything fit together. I don't think they're more composed than Wolves. I don't think they're more composed than Leicester. I don't know.
Leicester, I think they're gonna lose some of their players. Madison is probably gonna leave. Chilwell already left.
Actually, I think Leicester. Well, so Leicester lost Chilwell, but they've been linked with Tagliafico, and I honestly think he's better than Chilwell. So he'll slot right in, and they like to play fast counter-attacking football. Tagliafico suits that. There's this one right back from Atalanta who was a huge part of Atalanta. I think he's Belgian, Timothy Castagne. They're linked with him. So they'll bring in that young guy, another young player to go forward. They have Soyuncu, and who did they pair him with? Oh, wasn't it Johnny Evans or
Yeah.
who's the former Man U guy? Is it Evans, right?
Yeah,
I guess they'll be enough. I think Leicester will still maintain. They won't push top 3 like they did last season, but I think they'll fight for Europa League. Just because all the other top 6 sides have gotten stronger. Okay, here's another one. I don't even know if this is a rumor anymore. It almost seems like it's confirmed. AC Milan are one step away from signing Brahim Diaz. Milan and Real have reached an agreement. Madrid has accepted a loan plus an option to buy from Milan. Milan is waiting for Diaz to accept personal terms.
Wait, is that a buy or a loan?
So it's a loan with plus an option to buy.
Oh, quick thing. Don't forget Arsenal is still running up for that top 6. So, yeah. So no, I don't think they're gonna make it. Also, in terms of this one, I think he needs playing time.
Uh-huh.
So I think AC Milan's a great fit for him, to be honest. We'll see how it goes. I think he could be a good player later on for Real Madrid, but I just don't think he's there now. And he's still so young. He's like 18, 19.
Yeah, it's gonna be good timing. Any closing thoughts before we move on? Got a good topic.
Get right into it.
We're into it. All right, let's get right into it. So Arsenal and Liverpool faced off in the Community Shield this past Saturday. Final score after 90 minutes was 1-1. Arsenal won on penalties. Sheesh.
How do you feel about this?
2 cups in a row.
Dude, is it me? Or is it getting hot in here? Is it getting hot on the Zoom call? Is it just me? Or is it getting hot?
Just take off your shirt, man.
Let's go.
He actually planned this whole thing out.
Hey, fresh.
I've really been sitting here for like 50 minutes waiting to do that. Let's go! No, but honestly, we haven't won a title in like 48 hours, so like I'm having like withdrawals. Like Mikel Arteta's on the hot seat. Dude, all he knows is titles. Like, come on now.
It reminds me of Zidane when he just came. Zidane actually had more titles than losses.
Wait, what did you say? What did you say?
He reminds me of Zidane.
What did you say? Can't even hear you. No, yeah, it was a good game. I was pretty scared because Liverpool had their first team, so they had a pretty strong squad. Arsenal was the first to strike. Aubameyang had a really good goal, and Arsenal was building really well out of the back. And then Liverpool tied it in like the 70th something minute.
Who was your
but
for the PKs?
What'd you say?
Who was your goalkeeper for the PKs?
Oh, Emi Martinez. He's kind of like low key. He's kind of won the position over Leno. Leno has to kind of like prove himself to win it back. But as of right now, Emi Martinez seems like he's the number one. But what I was gonna say is that Arsenal was pretty strong for the 90 minutes. Like defensively, they had one slip up, but they were pretty strong. I think obviously they're playing 3 in the back with 2 wing backs, so technically 5 in the back. That is a lot to get through for a defense, but it also kind of limits you up front in terms of creativity. There's not much, so Aubameyang has to kind of do a lot of things by himself. But yeah, no, I like where this team's going, and they have all the confidence in the world, and it's coming from their manager. I really like Arteta.
I think it's just a good game plan, and yeah, like you said, like the confidence. I feel like everyone kind of believes in him in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Even Aubameyang, I think he stayed because he believed in the larger project. Where maybe before they kind of felt like they were kind of just riding stages. And but I feel like now they kind of feel like they have something to play for.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. Hopefully they make some more signings before the transfer window closes in I think October, and we could maybe compete for top 4. I really want to see them compete for top 4. I want them to carry off the momentum from last season and bring it towards this season.
That's the guy, man.
Yeah, I like him a lot, man. Like it's basically if you had a Guardiola plant, right?
Yeah.
And you grabbed one of the roots and you brought another pot and you planted it, and it shows you the same results. That's literally what they did. They just kind of took one of the roots from Guardiola and planted it and created Artetiola. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mikel Artekers, man. We got him. Yeah, so let's move on to this interesting topic we have here. Name a player that surpassed your expectations at your club, Real and Man U, last season, and name a player that you expect will have a similar impact this upcoming season. So who wants to go first?
Yes, go.
Uh, Last season, I'd say Greenwood. He was great. Um, he did play well in the preseason
Yeah, he did.
tournament, and I was like, okay. And then he was good enough to like show himself even more during the season. Uh, so definitely him for last season, and for the future season, this coming season, uh, I say William. Um,
Oh, Brandon Williams?
yeah, Williams, because he played a few games, but he didn't actually like prove that he's the top star.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he can show himself, especially for that position. He because Ole rotates Shaw and Williams, so I think he has the opportunity. I wanted to say Gardner, but since we just bought like another midfielder, I don't think he's gonna have a lot of playing time. The only one that I'm sure is gonna have more playing time is Williams, and I think he's gonna show some balls.
It's the path that you talked about for Greenwood, where they kind of like make their name heard in preseason, right? Playing in America and these like weird tournaments, weird cups, right? And then you start to get Europa League minutes, and you're like, oh shit, this kid has something, right? He's scoring, right? And then it goes from that to like playing very meaningful minutes in very important games and being dependent on to score. Because honestly, his left foot and his right foot are so good that Ole was like, "Fuck, we need a goal. Let's bring in this kid," and he was there to give him the goal. So he really broke out this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Brandon Williams, like you said, I still think he has more to show.
Definitely.
Because
Definitely.
just by him splitting the time with Luke Shaw shows that it's not Luke Shaw's position 100%. Like there's still a battle to be won. But he hasn't won it completely. Like there's times where he slipped up, but he was strong, but he slipped up a little bit. Like there's still he needs to do more to show himself, and I think it could be him. Yeah.
Nice. Adrian, how about you?
Similar to Yaz, I'm gonna say Martinelli. I thought this kid, I'm like, all right, cool. A young, very young prospect. We're gonna throw in like the U23s. Good for like the future, maybe 4-5 years from now, right? He's only 18, and then he kind of did something similar to Yaz, where he's in Colorado for a preseason tournament against an MLS team, and he's scoring a goal. I'm like, okay, cool, interesting, but it's the MLS, doesn't really count, right? Then he's in the Europa League, scoring like 2-3 goals. I'm like, oh, okay, fuck, there's something here. Then he's scoring very meaningful goals against Chelsea to win back points that we were about to lose. Like he brings a lot of energy, and I compare him to Gabriel Jesus. I know I brought his name up earlier today. I don't know what it is about these Brazilians, man, what they teach them in these favelas, but like they bring so much like passion and energy, and like they're very upset when they lose the ball, and their drive is. I love it. I love this kid. So yeah, he surpassed my expectations last year. I mean, he came from a 4th division league in Brazil. I didn't think much of him. Who do I think will have the similar impact next season? I'm gonna throw out a name you guys might not be too familiar with, but you will know his name, and it's Emile Smith-Rowe. He's a London kid. He's from Croydon. I think that's where we stayed when we went to London. I think our Airbnb was in Croydon. He's a local lad, and he could be the next Aaron Ramsey. I really think so. He plays a similar position, and he was in the championship last year. And this season, he had some. I think Monaco even came and reached out to Arsenal saying like, let us take this young kid on loan, and Arsenal was like, no, he's gonna be with us, and we're gonna play him first team minutes this year. So I think Emile Smith-Rowe will be that kid.
Pretty exciting.
It is exciting, and Arteta, I feel like he has a plan for him, and he's gonna work him slowly, but surely.
Yeah. I'd say Valverde was definitely the standout player on Real Madrid last season. He was just so good. Like he won the Super Copa pretty much for us, and he's just a box-to-box player that just has so much energy, and he can sometimes play in the wing, even though he's not even a winger. But Zidane still kind of plays him there when they play four in the midfield. But as a box-to-box midfielder, he just covers so much ground, and he's just so influential. He can retrieve balls. He can, go forward. You know, he was probably one of our favorite players to watch. And then,
I want to stop you there real quick. Not that I don't, I don't agree, but would you say that maybe not last season, but 2 seasons ago, when they had Lopetegui, how do you say his name? Did I say it right?
uh,
Lop-
Lopetegui.
Lopetegui, yeah, Lopetegui. Then they had another coach in between, and then they finally got Zidane. I feel like that season was his breakout season where he surpassed everyone's expectations. And then this season, he just kind of continued that. Wouldn't you say? I feel like there
Yeah,
might
but
be.
I feel like in this season he's actually started to become a starter.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
where like that season he was like he was starting to become known, but I feel like this season he's made that transition even closer to become like a permanent starter.
Hmm.
And where you do see Modric eventually fading off to another team, I feel like Valverde can really take over. And a player who I see for next season, I think it's Odegaard.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Coming out of left field, dude. Where has that
yeah.
kid been? Where has he been? What a journey for Odegaard to make it to the first team, finally. What
Yeah.
was it, like 5 years? He joined Real the same season that James joined, I
He
believe.
joined as a 16-year-old or something.
2014. It
Yeah.
only took him 6 years, but it was slow and steady, but he's very polished now.
He's polished and still really young. I mean, he's probably like
Yeah.
21,
Wait,
22.
how old is he? What, 22?
Yeah, he's
20?
like 21, 22. He's not very old at all. Yeah, let me check it quickly. Um, so Odegaard is 21. Yeah, yeah, 1998, 21. He's turning 22 in December. So, still 21 years old, still pretty young. And started obviously. I think he's been around a lot because he started extremely young, but he's a really good player. And honestly, I think he can have a really big role this year if he starts him, Valverde, Casemiro, probably the future for the next couple of years.
Brazilian?
And, huh?
Odegaard?
Yeah, Odegaard.
Is he Brazilian?
He's Japanese. He's what, Danish, Denmark, or Norway?
Yeah, I think he's like either from I think he's Denmark.
He's one from those Scandinavian countries.
His last name is Brazilian.
Odegaard?
Brazilian, like father, grandfather.
But yeah,
Um,
that's my exciting choice for next season.
so what we're gonna do is in 9 months from now, when this upcoming season ends, we'll come back to this video and we'll see who hit the mark and who was way off. All right, it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, that's the topic right there. Yazdansky,
Yes, sir.
I have a question for Brian. What should the viewers do to this video?
They should definitely comment, like, and subscribe, man.
There we go. And Brian, also, I have a question for Yes. What's our upload schedule looking like?
Wednesday at 7.
Wednesday at 7. And just to follow up, where can they follow us on our social media?
Right here, Crossbar Podcast.
Wait, throw that thing up again?
Crossbar Podcast.
Oh man, that thing is so 2003. That's been episode 11.